So yeah, this is my brand, Everything Extraordinary. You can go to the next slide. This is just a logo. Reason why I wanted to show kind of some high school drawings, I wanted to kind of go in like chronological order, like the order from like oldest to where I'm at now. So this is just like some, drawings and early inspiration, how I was kind of talking about how I was into music and drawing a lot, art. And so like when I was in class and stuff, I would just draw like my favorite musical artists and stuff. So you can go to the next one. And this is when I was getting more into like fashion and clothes. I would always be drawing clothes in the back of the class, and obviously, I'm still paying attention and stuff. But that's kind of what I spent a lot of my time doing, just kind of like to myself, listening to music, drawing clothes. You can go to the next one. And then this was when I started to actually try to like make clothes myself. So I would like heat press my logo and stuff on different t-shirts and kind of just start from like the bare minimum. So like if you guys ever have an idea, I would definitely recommend the first thing to do is just start with whatever you have, even if you have nothing. Start with something, start drawing, just start. That's the most important thing. You can go to the next one. Some more pieces, start doing like some hoodies. The designs were really like, I was really into graphic design. So I was like in like the graphic design class. Do they still have the graphic design class here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was still in the graphic design class, and that was kind of my thing. I always loved designing and creating stuff, which still kind of resonates to this day. I think the designs are a lot better though, nowadays. So kind of just like the name behind Everything Extraordinary is it's really like a motivational statement. So the definition kind of changes over time, but I really wanted it to be something like unique, like everything I do is extraordinary, it's unique, it's different, it's not the same as what everyone else might do. But life after high school was a little tricky, you know what I'm saying, because 2021, that was when I graduated, and it was like right after COVID, and like it was a weird transition, but especially to like what was I at the time, like 18, trying to like run my own business, and at the time I was playing baseball, and it was funny because my dad always told me to have a backup plan, and I was like, man, screw a backup plan, I'm just gonna, it's either baseball or nothing, and then I kind of just like started this, got into it a lot more, and the thing I loved about it, and this is why I love being an entrepreneur, is the kind of the freedom you have, because like when you're playing a sport, I know like Andrew, he plays basketball, he's very good at it, by the way, so.
Yeah, smile.
But no, that's the thing I love about entrepreneurship though, is the freedom to kind of like do what you want. Now you still have to put the work in, and it is a lot of work, like trust me, like especially nowadays, in the past few months I've went full time with my clothing brand, so I'm spending between like at least like 12 hours a day just working on it. But 12 hours a day, doing what I love compared to, I guess, working for someone else, I'd rather be doing what I love, which it's a lot easier to do what I love rather than, kind of just like following like a traditional college route or whatnot. So that's also another point I wanted to bring up is there's lots of different options after high school. What grades are you guys in? Are you guys like junior, senior? Senior? Yeah, so you guys are getting close to like graduating and stuff. So that's like a big point I wanted to drive, is that with the current world today, I'm sure you guys have advisors, and I'm sure, I'm just assuming, because when I was in high school, the advisors were like, okay, which college you going to? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to college. I kind of want to just like, make my clothing brand, Yeah, what's up?
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you you built your brand by yourself, or did you have like someone like guide you and show you what to
I definitely, I would say I did it mostly myself. I still had help, but really no mentors. It was just like a trial and error process. But yeah, I mean, definitely did have some help. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, you know, I didn't get help from like my parents or whatnot, but it was mainly just like I self-funded and kind of just doing it myself, that's kind of how I wanted to do it anyway, because I didn't really like, I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, I don't like want to listen to people. I just like want to do it myself. Maybe that's like a rebel mentality. I don't know what it is, but you know. We can go to the next one. And this one's really cool to me. This is a map of all of our supporters that we've had throughout like the past couple years. So we've sent to, I actually have to update this map, but it's kind of hard to see, but there's like little red dots and stuff. But we've had people from all over, from like, you know, Los Angeles to Florida, Atlanta, a lot in New York. We got multiple different countries, all buying from my brand, which is crazy to me because I'm doing this all in Freeport. I haven't moved yet to like a big city and like, you know what I'm saying, interacted with a bunch of different celebrities and whatnot. It's like, the internet's a very great tool if you want to start something. That's what I'm saying, it's so easy to start something like this. Now, like obviously you have to put in work and you have to stand out and whatnot, and it may not be for everyone, but the point of what I'm trying to say is that it's something like this is possible. You know, it may seem like, oh, how am I going to get my stuff to Germany or Paris or the Netherlands or wherever? It's like, you can figure it out. If I can do it, you can do it too, really. So, oh yeah, okay, here are some celebrities. We got Duke Dennis, we got Lil Tyler. Forgot who this was, an NFL player, but just like an example, I guess it was just kind of cool to like. It's a cool little thing, you know. See some of like the biggest streamers in the world wear your stuff. So. But then again, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, it's possible just because I wanted to do it and I figured it out. So luckily, I've been able to travel a little bit. I went to, this is my homie, what's his name? Napalm. He owns a clothing brand. Got another homie. Lots of homies, you know what I'm saying? It's good to have friends and stuff, to be able to travel and meet. I met all these dudes online though, which was the craziest part. That's why I love like being online and like Instagram and stuff like that. Is you get to meet cool people that are interested in the things that you're interested in, and once you're out of high school, you can travel and meet them and, you know, interact and, you know, build kind of whatever you want to do.
Who was an inspiration for you coming up?
I'd say a lot of my inspirations came from like, this may sound like cliche, but like rappers. I don't know, like like I don't know, because I can't really be honest and say like I find inspiration from like physical real life people, but like people that actually like, it was art that really drove me. You know what I'm saying? Like rap music and clothes, like Virgil Abloh from Rockford. Like I didn't know him personally, but he sure was a person that definitely inspired me to like, you know, make something of myself, because he was already there. There's not a lot of people in Freeport that I can go to physically and that have already like made it to where I want to be, and go to them and ask questions. So, what's up?
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So you said that you've met a lot of these people online.
Yeah.
Now, is that just through like direct messaging them, or is that through lives that you? Because a lot of people go live on Instagram and different platforms, and then people might comment or then direct message you. I don't know.
It was mainly through Instagram, and mainly through just direct messaging, like hitting up those people and saying, hey, I like your stuff, and then kind of letting it. Sometimes it was organic. Sometimes I wanted to do it in a strategic manner where I would wonder like, how am I gonna get in this circle, and like, you know, like put myself out there. And I think that's what kind of like can set me apart is my ability to just like take no for an answer, or not take no for an answer. I don't know how the saying goes, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, just like get it done.
Be persistent.
Yeah, be persistent and don't give up. You know, because a lot of people want to give up, especially like nowadays. But I just can't give up because I'm so passionate. So.
What keep you going now?
Just kind of like I want to see where it goes. Really, you know, I just want to like, why not keep it going? I'm definitely not at a point where I'm like satisfied. You know.
Do you plan on moving anywhere else to like what you're saying?
Yeah, I definitely plan on moving. I definitely want to move to like near a bigger city and also just like experience some more stuff in life. So it's kind of like also like brand based / like personal life. Just wanting to like see a different area because I've lived in Freeport my whole life. So what's up?
Like how your end goal is and like where you want to be at the end of your business, like when you retire and stuff. Has that changed since when you started?
That's a good question. I love that. I mean, the passion's always been there. I don't think it's ever really been like money driven, which I think that's another reason why I've kind of gotten this far and stayed doing this since high school, because it's never really been about money, but it is important to understand that money is important. The reasons why I do it is because of passion and is because I love it so much. So I've just kept it going, even though there have been times where it has been hard.
Has any opportunity along your path surprised you where you were doing something that you're like, I never thought I'd be doing this?
Yeah, going to Atlanta for the first time, and that was like my first big kind of business trip, going alone too, and I met like this one, it was like this TikTok influencer, and I was gonna have her like model my stuff. She made like the Renegade dance, you know, like it was like an old TikTok dance.
They probably know what that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, you guys might know. But meeting up, and she has like 600,000 followers, so I'm like, wow, that's a lot of people that follow you. Like, you have a lot of influence. And she's working like with brands like Nike and stuff. So that's kind of amazing to me how I was able to build something that, like, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all the way in Atlanta, like, what am I doing right now? But it's just like, it's just kind of like, it just kind of goes that way. So.
Where's the farthest you travel like for your business?
Probably like Florida.
Do you like okay? So you said you live in Freeport like all life and stuff. So if you do move or when you move, where do you think you're gonna go? Like where do you feel like gonna be your best fit?
Oh, that's tough. You know what? Because I was talking with my dad about that. There's lots of places. I mean, there's Los Angeles, New York. Kind of want to be somewhere warm, just because I'm tired of being cold in Illinois. But no, I think, you know, I was thinking Japan, because Japan's a big hub for like fashion and stuff.
Yeah, that's
I'm not too sure on that, but there's a few different options. So.
Can you see some like pieces and things and posting it?
Oh yeah, you mind going to my website? While she's pulling up the website, I do have, I got some gifts for you guys. I got a bunch of beanies.
oh yeah.
So yeah, no problem. Some of my stuff. I also do airbrush, so a lot of this stuff you'll see is either airbrush. Oh yeah, the Pokemon are going crazy. This is like my thing right now, is just like doing like airbrush Pokemon. I just try to like make as much stuff as I can. It's really important for me to stay consistent. That's my goal, is to be as consistent as possible. I notice when like I'm doing good, and if I let off the gas and I kind of like, you know, get if I get complacent, then I start to like slow down. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of important for me to keep going, keep making stuff. What's up, Andrew?
Is there like do you have like a favorite part, like doing like a top, bottom, like or like beanies or hats?
I think the stuff I'm making now, like I love this hoodie right here.
Wow, just want to say
That one's tough. This one's cool. I mean, I think everything I make is cool, but like I think I love the stuff that I make, like the newest stuff I make. Always the newest stuff that I'm working on is the stuff that I love. So.
When you, okay, so what drives you to just keep going? Like,
Bro, it's just the love of the game, bro. It's that simple, bro. Just love of the game. I love to make stuff. I love to see people, like your guys' reaction when I said I have a gift and stuff, like, and to see all you guys with the beanies is like the coolest thing in the world to me.
so you more of a giver than a receiver type.
I like giving gifts. I just like seeing people
What kind of
like kind
question?
of with my stuff on, just creating stuff, cause like all of this stuff came from like an idea in my head one day, and to actually put it into fruition and make it something physical is like my favorite thing. Like there was a hat on here, forgot where it was, but there was a hat on here that sold, and it sold in like 5 minutes. I dropped it, it sold in 5 minutes, and it went to the Netherlands. Which I'm like, how in the world did someone from the Netherlands even find me? Was one question, and the fact that I don't know, the fact that they just bought it all the way from the Netherlands is crazy. You had a question?
How do you get a website?
Yeah, like how you set your website up? Like, what was the process of that?
And where does
I'll
it
just-
start?
I just use Shopify. I mean, there's a few different like website hosting platforms. I didn't know anything about websites. I was just passionate enough to figure it out, and also just Google, YouTube, like figuring a lot of this stuff out
I was gonna say,
myself.
internet-
Like, you know what I'm
internet
saying?
helped
Like,
too,
yeah. Now you guys got Chat GPT and like what? Like,
Yeah, I don't get none of that, huh?
and you guys got me. You know what I'm saying? Just send me a DM on Instagram if you guys want some help. You know.
I got one last question.
What's up?
What made you choose this over baseball?
No, here's what it was. It was I didn't like the freedom I didn't have in baseball. So when I'm playing, I have to rely on a coach to put me in the game. With my clothing brand, I can play whenever I want. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I can. It's all up to me to showcase how much effort I put into it. I could be the hardest working baseball player ever, but it's up to the coach to give me a shot. Like I said, I can play whenever I want. So.
Do you have a goal each month, each week to develop some concept that you want to put on clothing? Do you have a certain number that you shoot for in a certain time frame, I guess is what I mean?
Yeah, so are you kind of talking about as far as like sales go, or
No,
just like
I'm not worried about
creating
sales.
stuff?
The creation process,
Yeah,
how,
like,
and
how many pieces do you want to push out
Yeah.
each
Oh,
week
okay,
or
okay.
each month?
a new design.
Right.
How often do you want to release new designs and?
Well, just the past few months since I've gotten into like airbrushing and hand painting stuff, I've been putting out a lot more stuff. And the reason why I wanted to put out more like handmade stuff is because when you go to get something manufactured, especially if it's manufactured overseas, it takes
Time.
months, you know, sometimes. So in between that time, I was like, I still want to make stuff, you know, because I had a friend tell me one time, he was like, you know what, Corbin, the one thing I noticed about you is that you're always there. You're always like seen. You're always putting yourself out there. You're always marketing yourself, and you're always consistent. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want to keep doing. I don't want to just like go away for a few months and be like, I'm back, guys. Like, no, I want to always be there. Some things are just like on a whim. Like I dropped these one beanies. It was like these kind of inspired by like Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th was coming up. It was in like 2 days. So I quickly like made a beanie and like made like a mock-up, posted it, and like did kind of like my just like my kind of like my marketing tactics and stuff. And they did really well. And I came up with the idea, and like I had like 2 days to execute it, and it went pretty well. So sometimes it's just on a whim, but that's why I think you can kind of notice the pattern of like I like having control of when I can drop stuff, and having to wait. I'm a kind of impatient person. So.
If you could change one thing about your business stuff, what would it be? Like it can be a bad thing, it can be a good thing, it can be whatever.
I'm working on it now, but I wish I would stop being so hesitant, and to if I could somehow remove all the doubt out of my mind, because that's the thing is that a person might have an idea, but they're just too scared to put it out because of what other people say or how much it might cost. There's all these different excuses, but you'll never know until you try. And so I just wish I could remove all the doubt out of my head and just. It's tough, but you know that's really what I'm trying to work on.
So like, do you ever like plan on like having like a co-owner type?
Say that again.
Someone else- Do you ever plan on having like a co-owner or like
Oh,
someone else?
co-owner.
Yeah. Like,
That's the tough part, bro, because I want it to be a person that's as passionate about it as me, but I think it's my responsibility to show them kind of the way of like give them a reason to be passionate. So until I find that person, I think it's gonna just be like an organic thing, you know. And I think as I move up, obviously, like I'll need like more of a team. But I think I've done a pretty good job so far of kind of like, you know, managing it, building my website, doing TikTok. I drop like 6 TikToks a day, and not even just that, like it's 6 TikToks, 6 YouTube shorts, 6 TikTok reels. Always doing like weekly drop, all by myself, but it's kind of just something I can handle right now, and that I just like having that control. So I guess until I need someone else to kind of like fill a certain spot, then I'm kind of cool doing it myself.
What was the moment that you're like, okay, I'm done with other ways to create income, I'm gonna do this full time? What was that moment?
I got fired from my job. That was pretty much it. Because I was tired of, I was doing lawn care, working like 12-hour days, like 3 days a week. And I would just get home and I would just be so annoyed that I like couldn't, I in my head, it was all a mental thing. Because the whole time I could do it, you know, it's just like I didn't have the 100% belief in myself. So then I think, and kind of my plan was to like, since it was lawn care and like it's kind of like a seasonal job, I was like, okay, once it gets to like winter time, I'm just gonna do this full time and see how it goes. Naturally, I think for the best, I got fired. And then I was just like, okay, that was kind of like the sign from God or something, telling me to like, here you go, do it full time, you know. So I was just like, okay, I'm not even gonna find another job, I'm just doing this. And so far, I've actually made more money doing my brand in the past 2 months than I have had working at my job, which is kind of it's kind of crazy to think about to me. I don't know, it's just kind of like cool that it kind of is going that way so far, but it just kind of makes sense because now I'm able to spend as much time as possible, so more time I have to work on the marketing aspect, the product, and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
I feel like you used to draw them like back in high school, but have you ever thought about like getting into the shoes?
Yeah, I've thought about getting into shoes. Those are a little bit more difficult to like manufacture, just because like they're a little bit more expensive. Like the beanies don't really cost that much, especially if I'm like airbrushing them myself. But yeah, I've definitely thought about doing shoes before. I've thought about doing a lot of stuff, but you know, sometimes it's just harder to do than others. What's up?
I was gonna ask if you could like do like George or something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to do whatever. I also got a section on my website where I'm allowing like commissions and stuff too. So I've done like a few different commission pieces for some people, some fitted hats and whatnot. So I've started to dive more into like my artist bag a little bit, you know, like realizing like, oh, I have a talent. Because the whole time when I was making stuff, I was like, now I'm looking back at it, I'm like, okay, that stuff was cool, but I realized I had a talent with like the airbrushing and whatnot. Something that sets me apart, that makes me valuable. And if you're valuable, you can make money off of being valuable. You look like you want to ask a question. What's
Me?
up? You were like,
I gotta use the bathroom, man.
oh, okay. That's up to you.
Mark
T.
has-
Yeah, what's up?
I just like fall into like the category of like commissions. Like I don't know if like those are like necessarily legal pros, but if somebody has like something they want you like customize or do.
I mean, I guess it just depends like what it is. That's why I just have like the form kind of set up on my site so you can kind of like check different boxes like, okay, do you want a fitted hat, t-shirt, what do you want, that kind of thing. And I was also trying to make it as easy as possible for people. Because like my big thing is just being there for like my supporters and stuff. And instantly trying to respond to like messages and just being like my own support, kind of like team customer support kind of thing. But I try to break it down to like a personal level and be personal. Because I'm not like, I noticed that like I'm like with everything else in my life, I'm a pretty like antisocial-ish kind of person. But when it comes to my brand, I'll put it all out there. I'll stay on top of the bill and be like, everything extraordinary. What's up, you know? Like, I literally got the flag in my bag, like, because this is something I'm proud of. It's something I built, and I think if you guys ever want to create something, definitely be proud of it. It doesn't matter how successful it is, because we only get one life, and you should be proud of whatever you make or do. Yeah. That's some great questions. Thank you guys for asking questions, by the way. So appreciate it.
When you be creating like your reels and all that stuff, do you create them to like advertise it, like, or do you just create them so you can get more like eyes to see it?
Kind of both, really. Sometimes it will be, I try to just make it like personal, because people like personal, like, you know, just personality with it, you know, like, and it's really me. It's like, I'm really just like propping up a camera and being like, hey guys, check out, I just made a new beanie, check it out. Boom. Not like, oh, I gotta, you know, I just hate thinking too much sometimes. Like, it's just like, let it be organic, because people can really sense that. So.
What about the people around you? Like, when you post like a flyer or something, they like repost it, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I have a pretty decent support system. I'll send it to, you know, people like Bud and stuff, and just kind of send it around. If there's people that I know, I'll just ask them to support. Do that. But a lot of it's like organic. They just kind of already want to support. But I think that also stems from, since I take it so serious, people are like, oh, he takes it serious. Like, this is what he's doing. Because I know a lot of people that want to try to do a million different things, and it's like, okay, like I'll have people ask me for a collaboration, but they don't even have like a website, they don't have a brand, they don't have anything established, and this isn't even to come off like in an arrogant way, it's just literally like, I'm putting my brand on the line to work with you, and you don't even take it serious, you know? So I want to work, that's why I want to work with like serious artists and stuff, so.
So do you feel like it was a passion switch, or do you feel like it was just more you wanted to like not necessarily like just like be on your own type, like not be on your own, but like do you feel like you just wanted like that freedom to be able to okay, I made this, I'm putting it out there. Like I don't really know how to work. I don't know how to work.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, it was literally like a piece of it was kind of like I'm gonna prove them wrong, kind of, you know, kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like having a chip on my shoulder to like make something of myself and say like, oh, I don't need baseball. But I don't think it was any. I think it was more so just like I just got passionate about clothes more, and so it's like why not? Why be in something that you're losing passion for just to like stick around it? I was never like, my goal was to never impress my parents or to never like, I want to make me proud deep down inside. So like, that was really it.
If I was you, I just keep doing it, keep promoting.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, like just keep consistent because it's obviously it's working. So like,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, you said it. It's pretty much it. But it's also important to innovate, and that's why I just like I'm just trying not to think too much, you know, because then I'll start thinking like,
Once we get up here,
yeah. Because it's like I thought of the Pokemon idea just on a whim, and then I decided to do it, and then now I'm thinking of like more ways to promote it, and like I also bought like some going back to like caring about like my supporters and stuff. I bought some Pokemon like packs of cards, and I threw them in with different orders, just because like I really care about like the customers and stuff too, and it's like it's cool when you get something extra in like your order too. So like
that
that's
just
dope.
build that fan base. It's like it build everything you already want.
Yeah.
And then now, like all of the supporters that you like already got, it's gonna be more.
Yeah, it's just trying to like make it personal. Imagine the CEO of Nike calls you or something is like, hey, thank you for supporting or whatever. I literally called. It was funny. I literally called. So on like my website, you can track if someone like put something in their cart and then but doesn't buy anything. So that happened, and it had their phone number listed. So I literally called them, and I just like gifted them the beanie, just because like that's different. It's more personal. It's just fun to do sometimes. Alright, so as I'm sitting here editing this video, it abruptly ended because the camera battery died. So I wanted to give kind of like a formal outro. Thank you so much to the students that asked all the great questions. Lots and lots of great questions, man. Like, give it up for these students. A little round of applause. for all the great questions. I didn't really know what to expect going into this. It was a business and entrepreneurship and kind of like marketing class, so I kind of wanted to keep it around that topic. But they asked a lot of great questions, some that were more like, involving like my personal feelings and my personal life, but mainly talking about like my business and whatnot, which was really cool to be able to talk to these students, especially the fact that they were about to graduate soon, and kind of giving them like an idea, or really just more of like opening up their mind to different options after high school, because I know it can be a very scary thing after high school to kind of figure out what you're going to do. But I think the cool thing in life nowadays is there's so many options to explore. So really hoping the best for these students, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the content, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more, and comment which question that the students asked was your favorite, I guess. So alright guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.